Hello and welcome back to my the fourth part in my Heaven's Field playthrough. In the last episode we have finished basically the prologue that happens in every route, as you can see here. Yes, after the third day it properly leads into the Heaven's Field route. After the incident in the church and at the church, or after the church more likely, where Shiro jumps in front of, well, the attack from Berserker for Saber and gets, well, almost split in half. And then we had an interesting interlude about, well, Zoken Mato in his bug chamber and, well, planning his further actions with probably Sakura. That was in that scene. So without further ado, let us begin the fourth day and the first episode in the Heaven's Field route. Now on the fourth day we have a title, if I remember correctly, Avenger. Yes, Avenger. I don't know if it's every day it's the same title in every route, but I don't know. I think it's the same every time. But we start out with a dream again. Winter 5 years ago. It was a beautiful moonlit night. I was just enjoying the sight with my father, Kiritsuku Emiya. It was winter, but it wasn't very cold. On the veranda, it was just a little chilly, a perfect weather to watch the moon. Kiritsuku didn't go outside much anymore. He rarely went out, and he spent most of his time lounging around the house. Every time I recall this, I still feel regret. Why didn't I realize that he was acting the way any creature does when they know their time is almost up? When I was a boy, I wanted to be a champion of justice. He blurted it out, just out of nowhere. My father, who already seemed like a champion of justice in my eyes, said it as if he were reflecting on a memory. What? You wanted to? So you gave up on it? I asked, unable to completely hide my disappointment. Ritsuko smiled apologetically and looked up at the distant moon. Unfortunately, yes. You can only be a hero for so long. It gets harder to call yourself one as you grow up. I'd wished I'd found that out earlier. That made sense to me. I wasn't sure why, but if Kiritsuko said it, then it had to be true. Oh, well, that's too bad. Yes, it really is too bad. Kiritsuko nodded in agreement. So I just kind of blurted something out, as if it were a natural thing to say. Okay, if you can't do it, then I'll do it for you. You can't do anything because you're an adult, but I can. You can leave your dream to me. Because I make it a reality. The bold promise made my father smile. His face said everything I needed to know. Ritsuko made a long, contented sigh and whispered, "Oh, that's a relief." He closed his eyes, and so too his life came to a close. He looked so peaceful, like he was just going to wake up in the morning, so I didn't think much about it. Maybe it was because when I was used to seeing death. When I was used to seeing death. On a winter night, the man I called my father looked up at the moon and entered a long sleep. The yard was dead silent, not much as of a single chirp from an insect. I still remember how fiercely my eyes blazed on that brilliant dark night. I didn't cry out loud, nor did I feel sad, but tears flowed down my cheek until the moon sank past the horizon. This happened in the winter 5 years ago. I probably cried 10 years worth of tears in that time, so after that there was nothing left. Eugenia's dad took care of the funeral arrangements, and that's how I ended up living in the Emir mansion all alone. Kiritsuku's passing didn't change anything for me. I was set on becoming a man who champions justice and does what's right, just like my father, so I didn't have time to sit around. That's right. I never talk about this, but I still remember it. 10 years ago, a man saved me from a fire. He picked up a burned, dying child and carried him out of hell, weeping with joy. I've admired him ever since. Nobody else saved me. I couldn't save anyone. In the ruins of the fire, there was only a boy who was saved, and the man who saved him. That's why I admired him, aspired to be like him. I wanted to become a hero of justice that saves people and doesn't let anyone die. That's who he wanted to be, and he passed his wish on to me before quietly letting the curtain fall. It's only natural for a child to follow in their father's footsteps. Shiro Emiya must become a hero of justice and save someone the same way that he was once saved. I swore to myself I would do it. I vowed to fulfill the dream of a man I'm most admired. Honestly, I didn't know how. What did Kiritsuku mean by doing the right thing and champion justice? How can I grow up faster? Is there some magical way to make Kiritsuku's dream of making everyone happy come true? Seriously, what am I supposed to do when I become a master and can't get the blonde girl with me out of my head? Man, that scene always gets me in the feels. Anyway, I wake up in my room. Something tastes terrible. The seedy tan of blood clouds my mouth. It pooled in my mouth while I slept, and every time I breathe, heavy metallic air fills my lungs. I'm not sure why I feel this way. A violent urge to vomit makes me want to go wash my face in the restroom. Okay, I lift myself out of bed. Dizziness sends my head spinning. Feeling uneasy on my feet, I plant a hand on the wall. Ugh. I try to move, but it only makes the nausea worse. No, it's more pain than nausea. My body feels sluggish, and my insides seem to churn whenever I move. I imagine this is about what I'd like. It feels like if someone forced what let down my throat. Imagining that is making me feel like I'm going to run a fever. I wipe the sweat from my forehead and hobble out of my room, leaning against the wall. Okay, I feel a little better. I wash my face and dry off my sweat-drenched body. Huh? For some reason, my abdomen is wrapped in bandages. I have no idea why, but I'll deal with that later. I'm hungry. Did I leave any extra food in the fridge? My stomach still feels like it's churning, but my body needs nourishment. I suck up the discomfort and keep walking, braced against the wall. The dizziness won't go away, and worst of all, my whole body feels dull. Ow, ow. I keep moving forward, making pathetic noises along the way. What the hell did I do before I went to bed last night? I don't remember training strenuously enough to make my entire body ache. I reach the living room. Sakura and Fujine must be at school. There's no sign of breakfast, nor do I see any remnants of Fujine wrecking the place. The living room's quiet, like a typical Sunday. Morning. Sorry I came without asking, Emiya. Or not. What? Rin Tosaka is sitting on the floor by the table in the living room. She's so calm, like she owns the place, so much so that I feel like the guest here. I have no idea what to say, so I plop down on a cushion. And then I take a deep breath. Tosaka, why are you... Stop. Shouldn't you be apologizing to me first? I can't move on from last night until you say so. Sorry for what you did. I can't even finish asking why she's in my house. Tosaka's glare is all I need to know how angry she is. She seems upset about something that happened last night, but what exactly? Wait. Now I remember. Right. This isn't the time for me to be leisurely breathing in the morning air. I tried to help Saber, and Berserker gutted me like a fish. Ugh. The nausea returns. A chill grips my entire body as I remember the feeling of having a great gaping hole in my body. Wait, that's weird. I should have died instantly. That's weird. Why am I still here? Do you remember now? You did something damn stupid last night. I hope you regret it. Tosaka huffs critically. That kinda ticks me off. My brain frozen since seeing Tosaka in my living room finally grinds into action. What are you talking about? I had no choice. Well, sure. Might have seemed like an idiotic move if you just look at the results, and I definitely meant for it to go better than it did. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake. I return her glare, insisting that I am not an idiot. What? Why is she making such a show of sighing tiredly at me? If a master dies, the servant disappears too, remember? I can't believe you actually tried to shield your own servant. Listen, if you die, then Saber is gone too. If you wanted to save Saber, you should have thought of another way to do it. From a safe distance. Honestly, do you even realize how pointless it is to risk your own life for your servants? I wasn't shielding her, I was just trying to get her out of there. I didn't think that would happen to me. I knew I might die if I go near a monster like that, but that's beside the point.
そう。勘違いしてるみたいね、あなた。
Fine. Then you had the wrong idea. Tosaka only looks more irritated, like she knows exactly what I'm thinking.
あのね、エミヤくん。きっちりと言っておくけど、教会まで連れて行ったのはあなたに勝たせるためじゃないわ。
I'll be straight with you, Emiya. I didn't take you to the church so that you could win.
あれはね、何も知らないあなたが一人でも生き残れるようにって考えた結果なの。どうもそのあたりは分かってなかったみたいね。
I was just trying to give you a chance to survive because you literally don't know anything. It sounds like you still don't get it. A chance to survive?
そうよ。負けることがそのまま死につながるって知れば、そう簡単に博打は打たなくなる。エミヤくん、こういう状況でも一人で夜出歩きそうだから。
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't take risk or really do much if you knew defeat meant death. But it looks like you're the kind of person to go out at night, even in a situation like this.
脅しをかけておけば、家中の栗を拾うこともなし。うまくいけば最後までやり過ごせるかもって思ったの。
I thought... oh, sorry. I thought that if I scared you straight, you wouldn't throw your own life away for someone else. And if you're lucky, you'd make it until the end. I see, that didn't come across my mind. So that's why she's so unhappy at me for facing down Berserker. But why are you so upset? That doesn't mean me dying have to do with you. What does it have to do with you?
関係あるわよ。この私を一晩も心配させたんだから。
It has everything to do with me, because you made me worry all night long. Tosaka is practically throwing a tantrum. But, okay. It actually feels good to have someone worry about me. From her tone, it sounds like Tosaka was the one who took care of me. Is that so? Guess I owe you one, Tosaka. Thanks. I bow my head in appreciation and apology.
わかればいいのよ。これに懲りたら次はもっと頭のいい行動をしてよね。
As long as you understand, if you've learned your lesson, then use your head next time. Tosaka quickly turns away. She might still be edgy, but I feel like she's in a better mood.
じゃあこれで昨日のことはおしまいね。
Then we are done with what happened last night.
本題に入るけど、真面目な話と昨日の話、どっちにする？
Let's get down to it, Ben. Do you want to talk about business or talk about yesterday? Tosaka prompts me matter-of-factly. The straightforwardness takes me off guard. But now that I think about it, she must be here only because she has something to discuss. If she hadn't had something to discuss, she'd have gone home already. Tosaka's my enemy, so what could she have to talk about that would prompt her to stay in the enemy territory? I'm curious to know what she's thinking, and I also want to know what else happened last night. I have to ask anyway, so let's start with what happened last night.
そうね。まずは状況を知るのが先。なんだ、まともに頭が働くじゃない、あなた。
Yeah, you should know what's going on first. Hey, looks like you're finally thinking straight. With a smug grin, Tosaka launches into a brief explanation of last night's events. Apparently, Berserker left right after I lost consciousness. Afterwards, my body started to heal on its own, and I was back to normal after a few minutes. I was still unconscious, so Tosaka brought me here, and the rest was as I remembered.
ここで重要なのは、あなたはあなた一人で生き切ったっていう事実よ。確かに私は手助けしたけど、あの傷を完治させたのはあなた自身の力だった。そこ、勘違いしないでよね。
What is important here is that you have managed to survive on your own. I might have helped a bit, but it was your power that healed your wound. So don't get that twisted, okay? That's what it sounds like from the way you told it. So you aren't the one who healed me?
まさか死にかけてる人間を蘇生させるなんて芸当はもう私にはできない。意味や四郎は自分でぶっ飛んだ中身をどうにかしたのよ。
No way. I can't revive someone on the verge of death. What was I supposed to do about your intestines scattered on the pavement? I don't really have an answer to that. My stomach is back to normal, yes, but I'm honestly still dubious about what Tosaka said. I can't even use any healing magecraft, much less raise the dead.
そうなると原因はサーバントね。
Which means it must be your servant.
あなたのサーバントはよっぽど強力なのか、それとも召喚の時に何か手違いが生じたのか。まあ両方だと思うけど、何らかのラインがつながったんでしょうね。
Either way, sorry, completely wrong. Either your servant is pretty powerful or something happened when you summoned them. I think it's both actually, but you must be connected by some line. Line? You mean some sort of fated line that connects a familiar and its mage?
あら、ちゃんと使い物知識はあるじゃない。
Oh, so you do have some knowledge about familiars.
なら話は早いわ。要するにエミヤ君とセイバーの関係は普通の主人と使い魔の関係じゃないってこと。
And this should be easy. It means your relationship with Saber is not just an ordinary master and familiar relationship.
見たところセイバーには自然治癒の力もあるみたいだから、それがあなたに流れてるんじゃないかな。
Saber can evidently regenerate too, so her power might be flowing into you.
普通は魔術師の能力が使い魔に付与されるんだけど、あなたの場合は使い魔の特殊能力が主人を助けてるってわけ。
Normally, the mage's abilities are shared with a familiar, but in your case, the familiar's abilities are helping the master. So it's like a river flowing upstream?
うまい例えね。本来ならありえないだろうけど、セイバーの魔力ってのは川の流れを変えるほど膨大なんでしょ。そうでなければ、あの体格でバーサーカーとまともに打ち合うなんて考えられない。
That's a good way of putting it. Normally that wouldn't be possible, but Saber's magical energy must be powerful enough to change the flow of a river. Otherwise, there's no chance she'd be able to go up against Berserker with that tiny frame of hers. It wouldn't normally be possible. Does that mean your relationship with Archer is a normal mage and familiar relationship?
そうよ。人の言うこと全然聞かないやつだけど、一応そういう関係。
That's right. He doesn't listen to a word I say. But that's our relationship.
マスターとサーバントのつながりなんてガソリンとエンジンみたいなものだもの。こっちが魔力を提供してあっちがそれを食べるだけ。
The connection between master and servant is like a gas in an engine. We provide the energy for them to consume.
まあ中には肉体面でもサーバントと共有して疑似的な不死を得たマスターもいたそうよ。サーバントが死なない限り自分も死なないなんていうやつなんだけど。エミヤ君、人の話聞いてる？
Whoa, I've read that that a master once acquired pseudo-mortality by physically fusing with a servant. They wouldn't die as long as their servant doesn't die. Are you listening, Emir? Yeah, I am. And Tosaka, does that mean my bodies will heal from injuries even if I don't do anything about them?
あなたのサーバントの魔力を消費してね。理屈はわからないけど、原因がセイバーの実体化にあることは間違いないわ。あなたが自然治癒の呪いなんて習得しているはずはないから。
Because of your servant's magic energy, I don't know how it works, but it definitely has something to do with Saber being stuck in material form. I don't think you've learned any cause of natural regeneration. Any curses on of natural regeneration. Of course not. Old man never taught me something that complicated.
そうじゃなくて、 そうだったら私が悩む必要はなかったっていうことよ。いいわ。あなたには関係のない話だから。
That's not what I mean. I'm saying I wouldn't have to worry about this too much if it was true. Never mind. This doesn't concern you. Huh? What does she mean? I wonder why Tosaka is being so roundabout.
まあいいわ。とにかくあまり無茶はしないこと。
Anyway, just don't do anything rash.
今回は助かったからいいけど、次にあんな傷を負ったらまず助からないはずだから。多少の傷なら治るなんていう甘い考えは捨てた方がいいでしょうね。
You might have survived this time, but you might not live it to tell the tale next time you get hurt, like last night. It's probably best you ditch the notion that any small wound will heal on their own. And no, Saber had to help me because I went and got myself hurt. I don't have any excuses for that.
バカね。そんな理由じゃないわよ。断言してもいいけど、あなたの傷を治すと減るのはセイバーの魔力だけじゃない。
That's not the point, dummy. Let me be clear. It costs more than Saber's magical energy to heal your wounds.
あなた、それ絶対なんか使ってるわ。
You're giving something up when it happens.
寿命とか性分とか預金残高とか、ともかく何かが減りまくってるに違いないんだから。
That's your life. Your luck or even your bank account. You can't bet that kind of healing doesn't come cheap. You can bet. It doesn't come cheap. Osaka halves once again. And I agree, but... Osaka, I don't think my bank account has anything to do with it.
関係あるわよ。魔術ってのは金食い虫なんだから。使ってればどんどんお金は減っていくものなの。
Of course it does. Using magecraft means you're pretty much throwing your money away. The more you use it, the more it drains your money.
そうでなければ許さないんだから。特に私が。
Otherwise, none of this would be acceptable, especially to me. Tosaka absolutely explodes with fury. It's odd, really. The more I talk to her, the more this Tosaka feels like the real one, while the girl at school feels like an act. Well, putting the topic of money aside,
次は真面目な話だけど、いいかしら、エミヤ君。
I want to talk about something serious. Are you ready, Emiya? It's the main reason you're here, isn't it? Let's hear it then.
じゃあ率直に聞くけど、エミヤ君、あなたこれからどうするつもり？
Can I be frank? What do you plan to do next? Tosaka asked the one question I hoped she wouldn't. Actually, that's not entirely true. It's not that I don't want her to ask so much as I haven't really thought of my answer yet. What I'm going to do now. It's a question I want to ask. To be honest, I don't know. I know there's a competition for the Holy Grail, but I've never been in a battle between mages. For one thing, more than anything, I want to avoid any killing. I'm not interested in something like the Holy Grail. I don't really know if I can risk my life for something I don't want.
言うと思った。あなたね、そんなこと言ったらサーバントに殺されるわよ。
I knew you would say something like that. I have you know that your servant will kill you for something, for saying that sort of thing. What? Kill me? Why?
サーバントの目的も聖杯だから。
Because the servants also seek the Holy Grail.
彼らは聖杯を手に入れるという条件だからこそ、 マスターの召喚に応じているのよ。
One of the conditions for them allowing a master to summon them is getting a chance at the Holy Grail.
サーバントにとって最も重要なのは聖杯なの。
The Grail is the servant's number one priority.
彼らは聖杯を手に入れる可能性があるからマスターに従い、時にマスターのために命を落とす。
They obey the masters if it gives them a chance at the Grail, and sometimes they even die for their masters.
だっていうのに聖杯なんていらないよなんて言ってみなさい。裏切り者と切り殺されても文句は言えないでしょ。
Try saying you don't want the Grail to your servant. You can't blame her if she calls you a traitor and cuts you down where you stand. What the hell? That doesn't sound right. Servants are the ones who are summoned by masters, right? Then
サーバントが無償で人間に従うなんて思ってたの？
did you think servants would really serve humans for free?
聖杯は手に入れた者の望みを叶える。それはマスターの守護者であるサーバントも例外じゃない。
Whoever acquires the Grail gets their wish granted. Oh, it's a master or the guardian servant.
サーバントたちにもね、それぞれ何らかの欲望があるのよ。だからこそ彼らは本来ありえない召喚に応じている。
The servants have wishes of their own. That's why they respond to summons that would otherwise be at best unreasonable.
聖杯を手に入れるためにマスターがサーバントを呼び出すじゃない。
Masters don't summon servants to help them get the Holy Grail.
聖杯が手に入るからサーバントはマスターの呼び出しに応じるのよ。
Servants answer the master's call to have a chance at the Holy Grail. The servants have wishes too? Does it mean Saber also has a wish she wants granted by the Holy Grail?
だからサーバントはマスターが命令しなくとも他のマスターを消しにかかる。聖杯を手に入れるのは一人だけ。自分のマスター以外に聖杯が渡るのは彼らだって承知できないのよ。
That's why servants will go out and eliminate other masters, even without being ordered to. Only one person can get the Holy Grail. They won't allow it to fall into the hands of anyone other than their own master.
マスターと違ってサーバントには霊樹を奪うなんてことはできない。彼らが他のマスターを無力化するには殺す以外に方法がない。
Unlike masters, servants don't have the power to take away command spells. The only way they can neutralize other masters is by killing them.
だからね、たとえマスター本人に戦う意志がないとしても戦いは避けられないのよ。
So even if a master has no intention of fighting, conflict is inevitable.
サーバントに襲われたマスターは自分のサーバントでこれを撃退する。それが聖杯戦争なんだって綺麗から嫌っていうほど聞かされたでしょ。
Masters attacked by a servant need to fight them off with their own servant. Hiro told you plenty of times about how that is the heart of our Holy Grail War. Yeah, he told me enough of it last night. But that means that servants must fight and kill each other. I thought it would be enough as long as the masters made peace with each other and gave up on the Holy Grail. But if servants answer the summons because they also seek the Holy Grail, it will never give up until they have it. Then battle between servants really is inevitable. But then, is the girl who fought so hard to protect me also here to fight, kill, for and maybe die, all for the Holy Grail? It's awful. I don't know exactly what a heroic spirit is, but Saber is human. I even saw her bleed yesterday.
はあ、その点は安心して。サーバントに生死はないから。サーバントは絶命しても本来の場所に帰るだけだもの。英霊っていうのはもう死んでも死なない現象だからね。戦いに敗れて殺されるのは当事者であるマスターだけよ。
Oh, don't worry about that. Servants aren't mortal. So if they die, they'll just go back to where they came from. Heroic spirits are phenomena that can't die. Only masters can actually get killed when they lose a fight. No, I mean, even if their deaths are figurative, it doesn't change the fact that something which takes form of a human dies in this world.
何、人殺しだっていうの？魔術師のくせにまだそんな正義感振り回してるわけ？あなた。
What? You have some hang up on with killing? You've got some nerve calling yourself a mage with morals like that? Tosaka's right. As a mage, death is never far. I understand that fact, and I've long since resigned myself to it. But I'm not strong enough to be the judge of when and where other people should live or die. Of course I do. I won't be party to some war where people murder each other.
へえ、それじゃあミスミス殺されるのを待つだけなんだ。で、勝ちを他のマスターに譲るのね。
Oh really? So you are just going to sit and wait to be killed? You're going to hand the victory to some other master? That's not my point. All I have to do is to stay alive until the end, right? I don't intend to kill anyone, but I am also not going to hold back if I need to defend myself. Someone who shows up ready to kill others can't complain about getting killed.
受けに回るんだ。それじゃあ他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するのね。例えば、昨日のあいつが暴れ回って町の人間を皆殺しにしても無視するってわけ？
So you're going to play defense? You're just going to watch and see what the other masters do? Even if that thing from yesterday goes around killing everyone in town, you'll just ignore it? The thing from yesterday? That twisted, inhuman demon. It's strong enough to level a house with a single blow. If it sets its mind to it, I'm sure it could destroy all of Miyama overnight. To make matters worse, servants can turn into spirit form. Humans who lack the ability to sense the supernatural can't even see them. But as soon as a servant materializes, they can't interact with the physical world. They can interact with the physical world. You could say they're the ultimate weapons. No modern technology or weaponry can affect a spiritual form. Our attacks don't work on them, but they can hurt us. It's a depressingly one-sided arrangement. For a normal person's point of view, servants may as well be natural disasters. When people die to an invisible killer, those deaths will just be treated as accidents or natural causes. What do you mean? Don't masters and servants only attack other masters? What do the people in the town have to do with it?
ええ、そうだったらどんなに平和なことか。けど、それなら見届け役の綺麗なんていらないでしょ？
If only the world were so peaceful. If that was the case, then we wouldn't need Kire to play referee.
一つ言い忘れていたけど、サーバントっていうのは霊なの。彼らはもう完成したものだから、今以上の成長はない。
I should have mentioned this sooner, but servants are spirits. Their forms are complete static, so they do not grow.
けど、燃料である魔力は別よ。
But they still need magical energy as fuel.
蓄えた魔力が多ければ多いほど、サーバントは生前の特殊能力を自由に行使できるわ。
When they are provided with more magical energy, they are able to use more of the special abilities they had when they were alive.
そのあたりは私たち魔術師と一緒なんだけど、あなたこの意味わかる？
That's not unlike us mages actually. Do you see what I'm getting at? Yeah, it's like repeatedly using magecraft. Magic energy is like gunpowder. The mage is the gun itself. Like how there are different guns, pistols, rifles, shotguns. Mages all have a variety of abilities. To continue the metaphor, servants are more like artillery cannons than a firearm. They burn a huge amount of gunpowder to launch massive shells.
そうよ。けどサーバントたちは私たちみたいに自然からマナを提供されてるわけじゃない。基本的に彼らは自分の中だけの魔力で活動する。
That's right, but servants can't draw mana from the atmosphere like us. They generally run only on the magic energy with them.
それを補充するのが私たちマスターで、サーバントは自分の魔力プラス主であるマスターの魔力分しか生前の力を発揮できないの。
It's our job as masters to supplement that energy. Their power is limited by their own energy supply. That's whatever my masters give them.
けどそれだとあなたみたいに半人前のマスターじゃ優れたマスターにはかなわないってことになるでしょ。
That means a half-baked master like you has no chance against a more capable master, right?
その抜け道っていうか、当たり前って言えば当たり前の方法なんだけれど、サーバントは他から魔力を補充できる。
One very obvious solution to that hurdle is to have your servants acquire magic energy from other sources.
サーバントは霊体だから同じものを食べてしまえば栄養は取れるってこと。
Servants are spirits, so they can eat similar stuff to sustenance. Eating something similar? You mean other spiritual bodies? But what kind of spirits would they eat?
簡単でしょ。自然霊は自然そのものから力を汲み取る。
Simple. Spirits of nature can only take power from nature itself.
なら人間霊であるサーバントは一体何から力を汲み取ると思う？
So, what do you think servants, who are human spirits, get power from? Oh, it really is an easy question. Just as we eat meat, human spirits like servants have to eat.
ごめんと。まあ魔力の補充なんて聖杯に補助されたマスターからの提供だけで大抵は事足りる。
Correct. To be fair, the magic energy supply from Master chosen by the Holy Grail should be enough in most cases.
けど一人より大勢の方が大量摂取できるのは当然でしょ。
But shouldn't it be more obvious that you'd gain more energy by getting it from more than one person?
はっきり言ってしまえばね、実力のないマスターはサーバントに人を食わせるのよ。
Bluntly speaking, inferior masters have to feed other people to their servants.
サーバントは人間の原感情や魂を魔力に変換する。
Servants can convert souls and primal human emotion into magic energy.
自分のサーバントを強くしたいのならそれが一番効率がいい。人間を殺してサーバントへの生贄にするマスターは決して少なくないわ。
If you want servants to get stronger, that's the most efficient way. It's not rare for a master to sacrifice humans to their servants. Sacrifice? Are you saying there might be a master out there who go around killing people to make their servants stronger? If they're not choosy about their method?
そうね。けど頭のいいやつならそんな無駄なことはしないんじゃないかな。
Maybe, but I can't see a master doing something like that.
いい？サーバントがいくら強力でも魔力の器そのものには限界がある。能力値以上の貯蔵はできないんだから殺して回るにしても限度があるわ。
No matter how strong a servant is, they are still limited by energy capacity. They can't store any energy above a hard limit, so there's only so much they can benefit from mass murder.
それにあからさまに殺人を犯せば教会が黙ってないし、何よりそのシーンからサーバントの能力と正体が他のマスターたちにバレかねない。もちろんマスター自身の正体もね。
One thing, the association won't just turn a blind eye to someone going around murdering people. But more importantly, the other masters will be able to figure out the servant's abilities and identity based on the victim's cause of death. That and they will work out the other master's identity too.
聖杯戦争は自分の正体を隠していた方が圧倒的に有利だから、普通のマスターならサーバントを出し惜しみするはずよ。
Concealing your identity in the Holy Grey War gives you a big advantage. So any normal master would be unwilling to use their servant. I get it. If you don't let anyone know you're a master, then the other masters won't attack you. Conversely, if the other masters know you are who you are, you're just asking to be ambushed. It stands to reason that no one would be reckless enough to let their servant attack civilians and risk getting exposed. Well, that's a relief. As long as the master doesn't order it, servants shouldn't indiscriminately attack people.
でしょうね。仮にも英雄だもの。自分から人を殺して回るやつはそもそも英雄だなんて呼ばれないだろうけど、もう断言はできないか。
Probably not. They're supposed to be heroes after all. I don't think there are any heroes who would attack innocent people. So I can't say that for sure.
暴虐者だからこそ英雄になった例なんていくらでもあるんだし。
Plenty of them became heroes through sheer violence. Osaka just casually raises a truly terrifying point. That sounds genuine about it. But she sounds genuine about it, rather than sarcastic or ironic. Might be a reflection on her twisted nature.
話を戻しましょうか。で、どうするの？
We're getting off topic. So what's next for you?
人殺しはしないっていうエミヤ君は、他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するんでしたっけ？
You claim you won't kill people, so are you just going to stand by and watch other masters do God knows what? I take it back. She's not only twisted, she's a jerk who is going out of her way to drive me into a corner with a smile. If it comes to that, I go in and stop them. The masters won't have much to do as long as their servants has been defeated yet, right?
呆れた。自分からマスターは倒さない。けど他のマスターが悪事を働いたら倒すって言うんだ。
Unbelievable. So you're not going to try to defeat any of the other masters unless they intend to do bad things?
エミヤ君、自分が矛盾してるって分かってる？
Do you even hear yourself? Yeah, I know they're just pretty words, but I can't think of anything else. I'm not changing my principles, no matter what you say.
問題点が一つあるけど、言っていいかしら？
There's just one problem. Should I spell it out for you? I can see the gears turning in her head. She's up to something. But I promised to listen, so I need to hear her out. Yeah?
昨日のマスター覚えてる？エミヤ君と私を簡単に殺せとか言ってた子だけど。
Do you remember the master from yesterday? The little girl who just casually ordered her servant to kill us both? How can I forget? She attacked us on our way home without any warning.
あの子、必ず私たちを殺しに来る。それはエミヤ君にも分かってると思うけど。
She's definitely going to come back and kill us. I'm sure you even worked that out. Oh, right. That girl is a master too. She knows that Tosaka and I are both masters. So she's bound to come after us eventually. It could be today or tomorrow, but we've already signed our death warrants. I've no chance of stopping that monster.
あの子のサーバント、バーサーカーは桁違いよ。
The servant, Berserker, is on a whole other level.
マスターとして未熟なあなたにあれは撃退できない。自分からは何もしないで身を守るって言うけど、 あなたは身を守ることさえできないわ。
As inexperienced of a master as you are, you're no match for that thing. And you've been saying you're going to protect yourself by doing nothing. You are not going to be able to defend yourself. Look who's talking. You have no chance against that thing either.
正面からじゃ勝てないでしょうね。白兵戦ならあれは最強のサーバントよ。きっと歴代のサーバントの中でもあれと並ぶやつはいないと思う。私もバーサーカーに襲われたら逃げ延びる手段はないわ。
What if in a straight up fight? It's the ultimate close quarter servant. There probably isn't anyone who can match it, even among all the heroes of myth and legend. If Berserker attacks me, there's no escape. Goes for me too. I'm pretty sure I won't survive the next round with that thing. My hand moves unconsciously to my stomach. The wound is closed. It's probably not even fair to call this a wound. It's a spot where a gigantic sword nearly killed me instantly. Can't shake off the sudden wave of nausea that wells up in me when I imagine the next time I might get a taste of that blade.
そういうこと。わかった。何もしないままで聖杯戦争の終わりを待つなんて選択肢はないってことが。
There you have it. Do you get that just sitting around doing nothing and waiting for the Holy Grail War to end isn't an option? Yeah, I know that now. But Tosaka, I'm not sure what your point is. I'm sure you're not here just to make fun of my inevitable doom, are you?
そこまで悪趣味じゃない。
What kind of sadist do you take me for?
もう、ここまで言ってるのにわからない？要するに、私と手を組まないかって言ってるの。
After everything I've said, you still can't take a hint? I'm asking you if you want to team up. What now? What? If you take those words at face value, that means you want to team up with me, Tosaka?
そう。私のアーチャーは致命傷を受けて目下治療中。完全に回復するまで時間がかかるけど、それでも半人前ぐらいの活躍はできるはずよ。
Yeah, my archer is still recovering from the serious wound. It's going to take some time. But in the meantime, I'm not completely out of the fight.
で、そっちはサーバントは申し分ないけど、マスターが足引っ張ってやっぱり半人前。ほら、合わせればちょうどいいわ。
And while your servant is superb, her master is dragging her down, making her half as effective. See? Put the two of us together and you've got a whole. Hey, I'm not that bad of a mage.
私が知る限りでもう3回も死にそうになったのに、1日で3回も殺されかける人間なんて初めて見たけど。
I count 3 times in which you have almost died. You're the first person I know who had that happen in a single day. But...
同盟の対価ぐらいは払うわ。アーチャーを倒されたことはチャラにしてあげて、マスターとしての知識も教えてあげる。ああ、あと暇があればエミヤ君の魔術の腕を見てあげてもいいけど。どう？
I make it worth your while. I let you off for getting Archer hurt, and teach you what you need to know about how to be a master. Oh, and if you have time, I can even give you some pointers on your magecraft. Deal? It's an attractive proposition. I know next to nothing, and Tosaka does seem knowledgeable. And I'd like to avoid fighting her if I can.
エミヤ君、答え聞かせてほしいんだけど。
Emiya, I'm waiting for your answer. He urges me to make a choice. This isn't something I should be agonizing over. I'm an amateur while Tosaka is a first-rate mage and master. Given what happened last night, teaming up with her is clearly the wiser choice. My hand goes to where I was slashed across the abdomen. It's been secured with bandages, but even the slightest touch sends waves of pain and nausea through me. Makes sense. I wasn't just eviscerated, my body was almost cut in half. I'm only alive thanks to Tosaka and Saber. As long as Berserker is after me, I'm as sure as that next time we'll meet. Something still bothers me though. What was slate-skinned giant Berserker? That pale little girl commands the strongest servant. Ilias Wheel von Einsberg. I'm pretty sure I heard Shinji's grandpa say that name.
Emiya-kun, 返事聞きたいんだけど。
Emiya, I want to hear your answer. Oh sorry, I was thinking about that Ilya girl. If I team up with you, that means we'll fight her.
ええ、あっちがその気なんだから答えるまでよ。
Yeah, if she comes after us, then we'll respond in kind.
どのみちマスターは全員倒すべき相手だもの。イリアスフィールがその気なら、こっちだって殺す気でやる。
We have to defeat all other masters sooner or later. If that's how Ilias Wheel wants to play, then we shoot to kill as well. Osaka's determination is firm. To her, that little girl is simply an enemy to be defeated. But I don't want to fight her, even though I know that makes me sound like an idiot.
エミヤ君、まさかとは思うけど、イリアスフィールの外見に騙されてるんじゃないでしょうね。
Emiya, I hope you aren't fooled by Ilias Wheel's appearance. Ilias Wheel's appearance. Osaka fixes me with a glare. She's sure as sharp. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose, but maybe what she looks like is getting to me. She's Berserker's master. You need to be a next level mage to command such a strong servant. It means her apparent physical age might be misleading. It might be, and yet... Sorry, Tosaka. I appreciate your concern, but I can't give you the answer you want. As heavy as this whole thing is, I don't think I just should just jump to a decision here. I meet her glare and dig my proverbial heels in. Osaka slightly narrows her eyes, then gives me an emotional nod.
それじゃあ交渉は決裂ね。まあ、確かにエミヤ君の言い分も正しいわ。本当に勝つ気があるなら誰も信用できないもの。
And I guess that's it. But you're right about one thing. You really want to win. Can't trust anyone. It isn't true. I trust you, Tosaka. I just don't think I can make this decision on my own. If I'm Saber's master, then I shouldn't make commitments without looping her in.
なるほど。確かにそうね。あなたはもうれっきとしたマスターなんだから。
I see. You're right. You're a master now. Osaka nods again in acceptance and quickly turns away. Her long hair sways as she walks away. With that, girl who might have been my ally turns back.
それじゃあね。次に出会ったら敵同士だから。
See you around. Next time we'll meet as enemies. And leaves me a cold warning, just like Ilya did. It's interesting. You could make a decision if you want to team up with her, I think, the other routes. At least I think so, if I remember correctly. In the Unlimited Blade Works route, you prefer. Alright then. Take a deep breath and consider our situation. Ever since last night, when I witnessed Lancer and Archer fighting at the school, I haven't had time to collect my thoughts. Right, that means I saw Tosaka back there. And the realization comes way too late. After that, Lancer stabbed me through my chest. Something or someone saved me, and I went home, only to get attacked by Lancer again. And that's when Saber saved me, and I became a master. Everything I heard at the church about the death match that they call the Holy Grail War. About the Holy Grail, it's said to grant their victor any wish. It all sounds fantastical, and still not quite real. But I've already been attacked 3 times. I'll stay bewildered forever. My entire purpose here was that I can't allow this battle to run amok. I won't let innocent people get hurt. Ever since that day, 10 years ago, I've been training in magecraft so that I can be a champion of justice. I've never expected that I'd tested in this way, but there's no going back. It's time to cast aside my doubts. This could also be an opportunity for me as well. It's a chance for me to fight for someone else's sake. Just like I've always wanted. Just like Kiritsuko Emiya did. But if there's one thing still bothering me... Rejoice, Chiro Emiya. You're absurd. Forbidden desire. Finally be granted. It made me wonder if I was doing the right thing. If always doing the right thing is actually a twisted way to live. Can't be true. I've never wanted this Holy Grail War to happen. There's no room for doubt. The oath I swore 10 years ago that I trained every day to uphold can't be wrong. Chiro Emiya always does the right thing. He trained in magecraft to prevent the other people from dying needless deaths. I should talk to Saber first. Push aside these words lingering in the back of my mind. Head into the hallway. Walk around the house. I checked all the guest rooms where people are likely to be, but Saber's nowhere to be found. It's weird. The way she's dressed, I was sure I'd spot her right away. But sure enough, Saber's armored form is nowhere to be seen. Apparently servants can turn to invisible ghosts, but alas, I've never learned how to do that trick. To begin with, I call myself a master, but I still don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about Saber, not who she is or how her servants can even exist. All I know is, no matter how incredible she is, she can get hurt in a fight and bleed if you cut her. Oh, Saber is in the still silent dojo. She looks different than she did yesterday. Sitting on her knees atop the wooden floor, she's not wearing armor. She changed into rather elegant clothes that really suit her. Now she sits and wait. That's Amy at the side. Saber looks beautiful. Strikes a refined, dignified figure as she sits there, eyes closed. Matching the stillness of a dojo, she reminds you of clear, pure water. And that rids me of any further doubt in my mind. Servants, whatever it is, she seems sacrosanct. Sacrosanct? What? So, for now, I'm sure I won't go down the wrong path. Saber? I call to her. Saber calmly opens her eyes and slowly meets my gaze. You're awake, Shiro. Her voice is serene. Something rich and calm about her voice hangs in the air. Yeah, I just woke up. What are you doing here?
体を休めていました。私にはシロの手当てはできませんから、今はせめて自身を万全にしておこうと思いまして。
I was resting. Since I cannot treat you, I figured that I would at least ensure that my body is in as perfect as a condition as I can make it. Eva gives a straightforward response as she scrutinizes me. This is, making me nervous in a different way than Tosaka did.
シロ、どうしました？やはり体がまだ。
Shiro, what is it? Is your body still... No, I'm totally fine. It's something else, really. It's nothing. I quickly take a step back and shake my head. Looking away from Saber, who tilts her head at me quizzically, I try to calm my rapid heartbeat. Get a hold of yourself. Why are you getting worked up like this? I take a deep breath. But I don't think this feeling is going away anytime soon. Man, why did she have to change? I can't help myself. With Saber in that outfit, I can't help but actually think she's real now. Seriously, she's drop dead gorgeous. I mean, I saw that yesterday, but it's actually setting in now.
Shiro.
As soon as we make eye contact, I can feel my nervousness grow. And again, I wasn't looking everywhere for her just to stay silent. It's comfortable, but I can't let it be awkward forever. Alright. May I, Saber? This is the first time for us to sit down and actually figure things out, but... I bite the bullet. But then?
Shiro, 話の前に昨夜の件について言っておきたいことがあります。
Shiro, before that, there's something that I want to address regarding last night. Saber interrupts me, his serenity replaced by irritation. That's fine, but what is it?
ですから昨夜の件です。
As I said, about last night...
シロは私のマスターでしょう。そのあなたがあのような行動をしては困る。戦闘は私の領分なのですから、シロは自分の役割に徹してください。自分から無駄死にをされては、私でも守りようがない。
You are my master. It is troubling if you take such actions. Combat is my area of expertise. My role is to fall back when the fighting breaks out. I cannot protect you if you throw yourself to death. Your death. Eva doesn't mince words. Her clipped tone is enough to make me forget my anxiety. What the hell? If I hadn't intervened, you'd have been cut in half.
その時は私が死ぬだけでしょう。シロが傷つくことではなかった。
Perhaps I would have died, but you wouldn't have been hurt.
繰り返しますが、今後あのような行動はしないように。
Let me repeat myself. Do not do that again.
マスターであるあなたが私をかばう必要はありませんし、そんな理由もないでしょう。
The master need not to defend me, nor is there any reason to do so. She says it dispassionately. Like it's just business. What? Don't be stupid. I don't need a reason to protect a girl. I snap back out of reflex. Saber stiffens, as if surprised to see me upset at her. When her look becomes one of indescribable dignity. I find myself taking a step back under her severe expression. Now I just feel embarrassed, like I've said something incredibly tone deaf. Anyway, thanks for taking me home. I appreciate that. I turn around and thank her. It's embarrassing enough to thank her like this. But in this situation it feels even more awkward. Even so, it's only right to thank her, the person who saved my life.
それはどうも。サーバントがマスターを守護するのは当たり前ですが、感謝をされるのは嬉しい。シローは礼儀正しいのですね。
You're most welcome. It's a servant duty to protect their master, but it is still nice to be acknowledged. You're a very courteous master, Shiro. You're very courteous, Shiro. Man, I'm not good with complicated words. I don't think I'm particularly polite, actually. There's something more pressing that I need to bring up. Something I should have asked as soon as I got home yesterday. Is she willing to be my servant? And is she really alright with fighting with me in this war? Let's get back on topic, Saber. I can call you Saber, right?
はい。サーバントとして契約を交わした以上、私はシローの剣です。その命に従い、敵を撃ち、あなたを守る。
Yes. As a servant who has formed a contract with you, I am your sword. I shall follow your orders, attack your enemies and protect you. Saber does not hesitate in the slightest to give her answer. Her tone leaves no room for doubt. You are my sword, huh? To win the Holy Grail thing?
シローはそのために私を呼び出したのではないのですか?
Is that not why you summoned me? No, actually, it was just coincidence. You may have figured this out, but I'm not a full-fledged mage. I'm sorry, but I have no real knowledge or power as a master. But now that I've decided to, I'll fight. I'm inexperienced as a master, but are you okay with that?
もちろん。私のマスターはあなたです、シロー。
Of course I am. You are my master, Shiro.
これはどうあっても変わらない。サーバントにマスターを選ぶ自由はないのですから。
It's an immutable fact. Servants do not have the freedom to choose their master. I didn't know that. If it is true, I need to respect Saber's needs and actions as best I can. Got it. So you're fine with me being your master, Saber?
ええ。ですがシロー。私のマスターに敗北は許さない。
Yes. However, Shiro, I will not allow defeat.
あなたに勝算がなければ私が作る。可能であるすべての手段を用いて、あなたには聖杯を手に入れてもらいます。
If you do not have any chance, it is my duty to carve out a path of victory. I will use any means possible to have you win the Holy Grail War.
私たちサーバントは無償であなたたちマスターに仕えるのではない。私たちも聖杯を欲するがゆえにあなたたちに仕えるのです。
We servants do not serve our master out of charity. We serve you because we also desire the Holy Grail. Hold on, you mean you want the Holy Grail too?
当然でしょう。元より霊体である聖杯に触れられるのは同じ霊格を持つサーバントだけです。
Of course. Originally, the only ones who can touch the Holy Grail's spiritual form are servants, who are also spirits.
聖杯戦争に勝利したマスターはサーバントを介して聖杯を手に入れる。その後サーバントは見返りとして望みを叶える。
The master who is victorious in the Holy Grail War will obtain the Holy Grail through their servants. Afterwards, the servants' wish will be granted in repayment.
それがサーバントとマスターの関係です、シロー。
That is the nature of the relationship between servant and master. Oh, come to think of it, there's no reason these absolutely strong, heroic spirits would listen to humans normally. They have their own reasons for serving masters, which means Saber has a wish she wants granted. That's why she does not hesitate. But that is... Hold on, Saber. You said any means possible, right? Does it mean you... I'm reminded of what the priest said. He said that people who have nothing to do with masters would be drawn into the conflict, and the tragedy of 10 years ago would be repeated.
シロ、それは可能である手段ではありません。
Chiro, that is not what I mean by any means possible.
私は私が許す行為しかできない。自分を裏切ることは私には不可能です。剣を持たぬ人間に傷を負わせることなど、騎士の誓いに反します。
I can only do things I allow myself to. It is impossible for me to betray my own beliefs. Harming unarmed innocence goes against a knight's oath.
ですが、マスターが命じるのであれば従うしかありません。その場合、私に踏み入る代償として、その刻印を一ついただくことになりますが。
However, I must obey if you order so. In that case, you will have to use one of your command spells in compensation. I get overwhelmed by the edge in her voice. At the same time, I feel relief flooding through me. Saber seemed like a robot because of her extraordinary power and lack of hesitation, but I know now she's not some cold-blooded killer. Yeah, I wouldn't make you do anything like that. Just as you say, we have to do our best with what we can do. I'm really sorry what I said must have been insulting.
いえ、私もマスターの意図がつかめずに早合点してしまいました。シローは悪くないのですから、顔を上げてくれませんか?
No, I also failed to grasp your intentions and jump to conclusions. You're not at fault, so may you please raise your head? Oh, I bowed without realizing it. I raised my head. I don't know what's so funny, but Saber has a small smile on her face. I'm glad she seems happy, so I don't press her. Okay then, can I ask one more thing? You said masters are mages who summon servants, right? I get that, but I still don't quite understand your side of things. I don't know that like Saber and Lancer aren't your real names or...
ええ、私たちの呼び名は役割ごとにつけられた呼称に過ぎません。そうですね。この際ですから、大まかに説明してしまいましょう。
Yes, those are only names that are given based on each of our roles. Alright, I shall use this as an opportunity to give you a rough explanation.
私たちサーバントは英霊です。
These servants are heroic spirits.
それぞれが自分の生きた時代で名を馳せたか、あるいは人の身に余る偉業を成し遂げた者たち。
Each of us made a name for ourselves in our respective time periods. We accomplished some great deed beyond human capabilities.
どのような手段であれ、一個人の力だけで神域まで上り詰めた存在です。
Whatever the means, we are beings who have supplemented to deity-esque status. That much is obvious. Heroic spirits had supernatural abilities while they were alive, were celebrated after their deaths, and prompted to be a higher spiritual rank than a ghost or such.
ですが、それは同時に短所でもあります。私たちは英霊であるがゆえにその弱点を記録に残している。
But at the same time, this is also our weakness. Because heroic spirits each left a mark upon history, our weaknesses are also recorded.
名を明かす。 正体を明かすということは、その弱点をさらけ出すことになります。
By revealing our names and identities, we would be revealing our weakness.
敵が会の精霊ならば問題になりませんが、私たちはお互いが必殺の力を持つ英霊です。弱点を知られれば、まず間違いなくそこを突かれ、敗北する。
It is no problem if the enemy is spiritually inferior, but we are heroic spirits that have the power to kill each other. If our weaknesses are revealed, the enemy would take advantage of that to defeat us. I see. Heroes usually do have some opponent that they are weak against. So that's why you're using a name like Saber and concealing your real name.
はい。もっとも、私がセイバーと呼ばれるのはそのためだけではありません。
Yes. However, that is not the only reason I am called Saber.
聖杯に招かれたサーバントは7人いますが、そのすべてがそれぞれクラスに応じて選ばれているのです。
There are 7 servants who were called forth by the Holy Grail, and each of them are also all selected according to their class. Class? So there were Saber and Archer. That's where Saber and Archer comes from?
そうです。元より英霊を丸ごと召喚するということ自体が奇跡に近い。それを7人分というのは聖杯でも手に余る。
That is correct. First of all, summoning a heroic spirit in itself is close to a miracle. To summon 7 of them is too much even for the Holy Grail.
その解決のため、聖杯はあらかじめ7つの器を用意し、その器に適合する英霊だけを呼び寄せた。この世界に我々が存在できるよりしろを用意したのです。
In order to solve that, the Holy Grail prepares 7 vessels beforehand and only calls for heroic spirits who are compatible with those vessels. Such vessels are like objects that keep us temporarily bound to this world.
それが7つの役割。
Those are the 7 classes.
セイバー、ランサー、アーチャー、ライダー、キャスター、アサシン、バーサーカー。
Now make the cards all golden so I can get a 5-star.
聖杯は役割に該当する能力を持った英霊をあらゆる時代から招き寄せる。
Holy Grail calls for heroic spirits with abilities that correspond to each role from any time period.
そうしてクラスという殻をかぶった者がサーバントと呼ばれるのです。
And those who are assigned to these classes are called servants. I get it, so you are a saber because you are a heroic spirit who was good with a sword.
はい。属性を複数持つ英霊もいますが、こと剣に関しては私の右に出る者はいないと自負しています。
Correct. There may be some heroic spirits who possess multiple attributes, but I would say in all humility that there are none better than I with a sword.
もっとも、それがセイバーの欠点でもある。
However, this is also my disadvantage.
私は魔術師ではありませんから、マスターの剣となって敵を撃つことしかできない。
I'm not a mage, so I can only defeat enemies as your sword. You mean you're not good at the cloak and dagger stuff? I don't consider that a weakness. You're more than strong enough as a saber.
シロ、戦闘で強いだけではこの戦いは勝ち抜けません。
Shiro, battles are not won through might alone.
例えばの話ですが、敵が自身より白兵戦で優れている場合、あなたならどうしますか？
This is hypothetical, but if your enemy is better at close combat than you, then what would you do? Well, I guess I know that I wouldn't be able to win if I just fight head on, so I would have to do something without fighting. I understand once I say that. If your opponent is strong, we're not going to fight fair. Defeating opponents with a sword isn't the only way to fight. If you can't beat your opponent with a sword, you just have to come up with another way.
そういうことです。白兵戦で優れていると相手に知られた場合、相手はまず白兵戦など仕掛けてこないでしょう。そういった意味で言うと、能力の劣ったサーバントはあらゆる手を尽くしてくる。
That is correct. If your opponent discovers that you are skilled in close combat, then they will most likely not challenge you thusly. In that sense, servants who lack ability will use any means possible.
アサシンのサーバントは能力こそ低いですが、気配を隠すという能力がありますし、キャスターのサーバントはこの時代にない魔術に精通している。
The assassin servant lacks combat capacity, but has the ability to hide its presence, and the caster servant is proficient in magecraft, but does not exist in this age.
単純な戦力差だけで楽観はできません。加えて、私たちには宝具がある。どのようなサーバントであれ、英霊である以上は必殺の機会を持っているのです。
You cannot be optimistic from power difference. Additionally, we have things called noble phantasms. No matter what kind of servant we are, as heroic spirits, we have the opportunity to create a fatal attack. Noble phantasms? I have not heard the term. Or I think I can glean the meaning from the words.
宝具とはサーバントが持つ特別な武具のことです。
Noble phantasms are special weapons that servants have.
ランサーの槍やアーチャーの弓、それに私の剣などが該当します。
Weapons like Lancer's spear, Archer's bow, and my sword are all such treasure tools.
英雄とはそれ単体で英雄とは呼ばれません。彼らはシンボルとなる武具を持つがゆえにヒーローとして特化している。
Heroes do not become so by themselves. It is due to their chosen weapon. They're the very symbol of their existence, that they are recognized as heroes.
英雄とその武装は一つなのです。ゆえに英霊となった者たちはそれぞれが強力な武具を携えています。
Heroes and their armaments are one. As such, those who become heroic spirits bear famed or powerful weapons.
それが宝具。サーバントたちの切り札であり、私たちが最も警戒すべきものです。
That is what noble phantasms are. A servant's trump card. They are also what we need to fear most. Never says that noble phantasms are weapons that heroic spirits had while they were alive. I recall that blue knight's spear. It sucked up all the magical energy in the air and stabbed Saber's chest with an impossible trajectory. That thing is certainly not something that a normal human can handle. The spear itself carried a strong curse, but I felt an amount of magical energy on another level from the words Lancer said back then too. Could that be? Saber, noble phantasm's magecraft? Lancer's spear certainly seemed like something from history, but it was still essentially a spear. But with his words, the spear went beyond the realm of weapons. Isn't that a type of magecraft?
ええ。確かに宝具は魔術に近い。
Yes, noble phantasms are certainly similar to magecraft.
例えばランサーの槍です。彼の槍はそれ自体が宝具ではありますが、その進化を発揮するのは魔力を注ぎ込み、その神明を口にした時だけです。
As you say, Lancer's spear is it is a noble phantasm, but its true value is demonstrated only when he puts magic energy into it and says its true name.
宝具とはある意味形になった神秘ですから。
Noble phantasms are technically mystics that have materialized.
魔術の発現に栄唱が必要なように、宝具の発動にも栄唱、神明による覚醒が必要になる。
Just as incantations are necessary to activate magecraft, noble phantasms also need their true name to be recited in order to awaken and activate them.
ですが、これにも危険はあります。 宝具の神名を口にすれば、そのサーバントの正体が分かってしまう。
However, this also has its dangers. By saying the true name of a noble phantasm, that servant's identity will be revealed. I get it. Heroes and weapons are set. If you know the name of a weapon, you can work out who wields it. Saber nods in silence. That is why the noble phantasm is a trump card. In exchange for revealing the identity, it would launch an unavoidable fatal blow. If that attack misses or fails, the servants have revealed their weakness. So Saber, is your noble phantasm that invisible sword?
そうですね。ですが、あれはまだ正体を明かしていません。今の状態で私の神名を知るサーバントはいないでしょう。
Yes. However, I have not revealed its identity yet. At this point, there should not be any servant who knows my true name. With that, Saber looks away, uncomfortably for a second.
シロ、その件についてお願いがあります。
Shiro, I have a request about that matter. What kind of request?
私の神名のことです。本来サーバントはマスターにのみ神名を明かし、今後の対策を練ります。
It's about my true name. Normally, servants reveal their true name only to their master, so they can plan strategies for the battles ahead.
ですがシロは魔術師として未熟です。
However, you are inexperienced as a mage.
優れた魔術師ならば、シロの思考を読むことも可能でしょう。ですから。
If you encounter a superior mage, they should be able to read your mind. Therefore... so you can't reveal your name, huh? Yeah, you're right. Like hypnosis or being hit with a whisper type spell or... Well, I doubt it. But if other masters have mystic eyes, then I might start babbling about it. Okay then. I leave it up to you to decide when you use a noble phantasm.
本当にそんなにあっさりと?
Are you certain you should make such a rash decision? It's not rash. I thought it over and I'm satisfied by the conclusion I have reached. I did think it through, so don't worry. Moving on. We've talked through most things, but I still don't think I understand the whole situation. Come to think of it, it's strange. I've decided to fight, yet the only opponent that I know of is Tosaka, and I have no intention of fighting her at all. Well, actually she's ready to fight me, so I guess I'm not the one in a position to say that. Hey, Saber, do masters or servants have some sort of mark? I don't really know what I should be doing.
いいえ、残念ながら明確な判別方法はありません。
No, unfortunately, there's no definite way to identify them.
ただ、近くにいるのなら、サーバントはサーバントの気配を察知できます。それが実体化しているのならなおさらです。サーバントはそれ自体が強力な魔力ですから。
If other servants are near a servant, the servant can sense their presence. All the more so if they are in a physical form. Servants themselves are powerful force of magic energy.
シローもバーサーカーの気配は感じ取れたでしょう。
You were able to sense Berserker's presence, right? That's true. It would be bad if I can only tell once I'm attacked, right? I need to at least notice before they approach, or else I won't be able to take some kind of countermeasure.
では、マスターの気配をたどるのはどうですか？マスターとで魔術師です。魔術を生りとする以上、魔力は必ず漏れています。それを探れば、この町にいるマスターは特定できるのでは。
Then how about tracking the master's presence? Masters are mages. Since they use magecraft as a living, there will also be magic energy that is leaked. If you search for that, you may be able to identify the masters about. Sorry, unfortunately I can't do anything requiring skills like that. I mean, I didn't even realize Tosaka's identity, and we go to the same school. We're in the same building for 2 years, and on top of that, I saw her many times. Damn, no wonder I get made fun of being an amateur. My only proof as master is my command spell. It looks like I have a tough road ahead of me. I sigh heavily. And then?
シロ、少し目を閉じてもらえますか?
Shiro, can you close your eyes for a moment? Saber's face is stern as she speaks. Close my eyes? Why?
あなたがマスターだと証明するためです。いいですから、目を閉じて呼吸を整えてください。
I'm going to prove that you are a master. Just listen to me. Close your eyes and regulate your breathing. I close my eyes. I feel something slightly touching my forehead. Wait, it's oddly pointed. Could it be the end of a sword? Saber, hold on. Are you sure you're not doing anything weird?
マスター、黙って私の指先に意識を集中してください。あなたも魔術師なら、それでこちらの魔力を感じ取れるでしょう。
Master, please be quiet and concentrate on my fingertip. If you are a mage, you should be able to feel my magical energy from that. Oh, so it's Saber finger touching me. I put myself together and quiet my mind. Oh, what is this? Saber, what was that?
なんだではありません。あなたと私は契約によってつながっているのですから、私の状態は把握できて当然です。
Is it not obvious? You and I are connected through a contract, so it's natural to understand my condition. Understand your condition?
どのような形で把握したのかは知りません。サーバントの能力を測るのは、あくまでシローが見る基準です。単純に色で識別するマスターもいれば、獣に例えて見分けるマスターもいます。
I do not know how you saw it. Your standards are what sets how you measure a servant's ability. There are some masters who are distinguished simply through colors, and there are other masters who understand by comparing them to beasts.
つまり、個人差はあれど、本人にとって最も判別しやすい捉え方をするということです。
In other words, it varies by person. What one perceives it is the easiest way for them to identify.
これはマスターとしての基本ですから、今後は頻繁に確かめてください。私と同様、一度見た相手ならば、その詳細が理解できているはずですから。
This is a fundamental part of being a master. So from now on, please check frequently. You should be able to understand the details of someone after seeing them once. I think I get it now. I was surprised because it was so sudden, but I might be able to act a bit more like a master now.
マスター、簡略しましたが、私にできる説明は以上です。
Master, this concludes my abbreviated explanation, sorry. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it makes sense. Sorry for the trouble, Saber.
すまなかったではありません。
There's no need to apologize.
状況が分かったのなら、これからどうするのかを決めるべきではないですか。
You need to understand the situation we are in to make decisions about our next steps. Saber leans forward attentively, awaiting my next words. This tells me Saber is probably the same as Tosaka. She's the sword to strike first. That's valid. I can't decide our next course of action before I know what I'm even supposed to be doing. I guess we can just wait and see. I don't know what the other masters are like, and I'm curious about Ilya. If I'm trying to avoid creating more victims, then we should probably try find the other masters. Aimlessly wandering through the city seems dangerous, but I can't come up with anything better. Maybe I should have teamed up with Tosaka after all.
イリア、バーサーカーのマスターはどうかしたのですか、シローは。
Ilya? Does Berserker's master concern you, Shiro? Nah, I'm just wondering why she's after us. Actually, I've met her before yesterday. Or it was just in passing. I've heard the name Einsman before too. It seems to catch Saber's attention. She makes an inscrutable face at the mention of Einsburn. Saber, have you heard the Einsburn name before too?
知っています。逆に問いますが、シローはその名に覚えがないのですか？
I know the name. Are you familiar with it, Shiro? No, I wouldn't say that. I just heard it in passing. Before we met her, someone who has nothing to do with all this has asked me if the daughter of a Einsburn was doing well.
そうですか。では、シローは何も聞かされていないのですね。
I see. And you don't know anything. Saber closes her eyes in a moment of thought.
これも何かの因縁でしょう。アインツベルンを知りたいのなら、もう一度教会に赴くべきです。
Okay, now it's getting interesting. All up until now has been, well, again, basic stuff that happens similar to the other routes, but this is new. Triggered by Zoken mentioning the Einsburns, and now Shiro discussing with Saber and her knowledge of the Einsburns. Okay, interesting. Let's continue. This must be fated somehow. If you wish to learn more of the Einsburns, then you should visit the church again.
あの神父なら、シローの疑問にもこれから取るべき道にも示唆を与えてくれるはずですから。
That priest will be able to shed some light on your question and your next course of action. Does Saber know who the priest is? Don't think so, right? The church? You mean the same one from yesterday? But I'm not supposed to go there anymore. The priest said only to come back if I'm going to be forfeit being a master.
それは方便に過ぎません。あの神父が敷いているルールは、魔術師同士の戦いを律するために作られたあちら側の建前です。シローが魔術協会に属しているのなら従う価値もありますが、所属していないのならば何の価値もありません。
That was just a white lie. The rules that priests enforce are contrivance of a mages association, meant to control the battle between mages. Since you don't belong to the association, there's no purpose to obeying them. She's right. Tosaka's part of the association, but the Emiya family are a bunch of outlaws that have nothing to do with them. I won't get anything out of following the association laws, so I can just ignore them, like my old man did.
わかりましたか。シローにとって、あの教会は最終的な避難場所に過ぎない。彼らの規則に従う義務はないのです。
Do you understand now? That church is a shelter of last resort for you. But you are under no obligation to obey their laws. I suppose you're right, but I still want to avoid it if I can. I have a feeling that I shouldn't see that priest any more than I have to. Kirikotomine. I have a hunch that something's wrong with him. It isn't a feeling of hostility, like I can't trust him, or that he is a threat. It should be around him. I shouldn't be around him. I'm afraid that the more I'm around him, the more myself that I've built up over time will crumble away.
シローの気持ちはわかる。私とて同感です。できることなら、あの神父には関わりたくない。
I know how you feel, Shiro. I agree. We should avoid associating with him if possible. Saber concurs with a dignified look. That's a surprise. I've never expected Saber, a heroic spirit, to feel awkward over associating with mere humans after all. Leaving me aside, why do you feel that way? You haven't even met him. Saber hesitates. After a frown of indecision, she raises her head, as if her doubts have been dispelled.
彼は前回の聖杯戦争に参加した人物です。
He participated in the previous Holy Grail War.
どのサーバントのマスターだったかは分かりませんが、キリツグはあの神父を最後まで重視していた。
I don't know which servant he was the master of, but Kiritsuku was cautious of him until the very end. Oh. I know that. I know that already, but Saber, did you just... Saber, how do you know my old man's name?
私がキリツグのサーバントだったと言ったのです。
I said, I was Kiritsuku's servant.
前回の聖杯戦争の折、エミやキリツグはマスターの一人でした。私は彼と協力して聖杯戦争に挑み、最後まで勝ち残りました。
Kiritsuku Emiya was one of the masters in the last Holy Grail War. I fought alongside him for the Grail, and we won.
その中で、エミやキリツグはあの神父を最大の敵として捉えていました。私たちを破る者がいるとすれば、それはあの男以外ないと。
Kiritsuku judged that priest to be the greatest threat of all the participants. He said if we'd lost, it would be to him. Wait, but that means Kiritsuku was a master in the last war, who fought alongside Saber and... one of the people who caused that hell to happen? No way. How could it be? Why didn't Kotomine say anything? Why didn't the old man tell me?
それは私の知るところではありません。キリツグが何を考えていたかなど、私には最後までわからなかった。
I do not know. I never did know what Kiritsugu was thinking.
ですが、あの神父が黙っていたというのなら、それはシローが聞かなかったからでしょう。あの男は問われれば答える人間です。シロー自身が問うのならば、必ず真実を語ります。
If a priest didn't mention it, then you must not have asked. He's the type of a man to answer anything people ask him. I believe he will tell you the truth if you bring it up. Saber watches me silently. Her green eyes state my obligation as a master. If I want to know the truth about Kiritsugu Emiya, then I should be willing to go to the church. Let me stop that here, right here. It's almost 2 hours and 12 more minutes or something like that. We have reached the 2-hour mark. And well, I've promised I'm going to make shorter episodes. Unlike the last episode where I wanted to well, rush through the stuff we already know, and you probably already know if you have watched any of the Fate routes. And we had some more of that today, and at the end again have peeked into the stuff that's different. And well, this is way different than the other ones. So yeah, I'm going to save, and I will see you in the next episode where we unveil what the mystery about Kiritsugu Emiya being a master in the last Holy Grail War. And, well, what he did, I think. So, until the next episode, I will see you then. It's been me, Shokimo. Bye bye.